weak man seeks his worth in the eyes of others, particularly women. He looks outside himself to validate his existence, to fill the void. But here's the truth. No woman, no job, no status can ever give you the fulfillment you crave. You are the one who creates your reality. A weak man seeks his worth in the eyes of others, particularly women. He looks outside himself to validate his existence, to fill the void. He spends his days wondering if he's enough, wondering if he's worthy of love, attention, or admiration. He spends hours trying to impress, trying to chase, trying to win the approval of someone outside of him. But here's the truth. No woman, no job, no status, no material possession can ever give you the fulfillment you crave. It's a fleeting illusion. You may get attention, but it won't give you lasting joy. You may gain validation, but it won't provide you with a deep sense of peace and confidence that you are desperately seeking. True fulfillment comes from within, the kind of fulfillment that doesn't waver with the tides of approval or disapproval. When you begin to focus on your inner strength, on building yourself, on aligning with your deepest purpose, you step into your power. That is where real strength lies, within you. The more you rely on others to define your worth, the more you give away your power, piece by piece. It's time to take that power back. Start by asking yourself the hard questions. Who are you when no one else is around? What do you want to create in this world? What is the vision for your life? When you have a clear sense of self, when you know exactly who you are and where you're going, your actions will come from a place of integrity, not insecurity. Your worth isn't tied to anyone else's opinion, and it certainly isn't tied to anyone else's affection. When you make the decision to look inward for validation, you stop seeking approval from others and start seeking alignment with your own values. You stop measuring your success by the number of people who validate you, and instead you measure it by the progress you make on your personal journey. You start to trust yourself and your capabilities. When you are confident in your own self-worth, you become magnetic, not because you are trying to impress anyone, but because you have unlocked the most powerful version of yourself. You no longer need to chase anything, it comes to you. Relationships become an extension of the energy you've created within, based on respect, love, and mutual growth, rather than need or dependence. What you focus on expands. It's a simple yet profound principle that shapes everything in your life. When a weak man focuses on women for validation, he unwittingly weakens himself. He attaches his value to something external, something fleeting. He waits for others to affirm his worth, to tell him he's good enough, or to make him feel complete. And in doing so, he remains stuck in a cycle of searching for something outside of him to fill an internal void. But here's the breakthrough moment. True power, true fulfillment comes from within. The more you focus on external validation, the more you lose touch with the strength, resilience, and power that is already inside you. When you stop focusing on other people for approval and start focusing on your own growth, that's when things begin to shift. Shift from mindset of dependence to one of independence. Shift from waiting for someone else to tell you who you are, to actively creating you want to become. The more energy you pour into your personal development, your goals, your purpose, the more you begin to radiate confidence and self-assurance. You no longer seek out the approval of others because you know you're on the right path. Your focus becomes about achieving what you've set out to do, whether that's excelling in your career, mastering new skills, or evolving into the best version of yourself. When you redirect your focus, you stop wasting precious energy on things that don't serve your growth. You stop obsessing over whether someone likes you or not. Instead, you focus on mastering your craft, on pushing past your limits, on finding joy and fulfillment in your own journey. The moment you put your energy into the things that matter, you'll find that everything else falls into place. You'll begin to notice how people respond to you differently. You won't have to try so hard. You won't have to chase approval because your sense of self-worth is not dependent on anyone else. Instead, you'll attract people who value you for who you are, not what you can do for them. The law of attraction works when you focus on being the best version of yourself, not when you focus on winning the approval of others. When you focus on your own growth, you naturally become magnetic, and that's when relationships, whether personal, professional, or romantic, become genuine and based on mutual respect and shared growth. A weak man fears rejection. He allows the possibility of rejection to define his actions, his self-worth, and his sense of security. Every moment he fears that someone will say no, he's paralyzed. He doesn't make the call. He doesn't ask the question. He doesn't take the chance. Why? Because he's convinced that rejection will shatter him. He believes that if someone rejects him, it means he isn't good enough, that he's somehow less than, and that his value has diminished. But the truth is, rejection isn't a reflection of who you are. It's simply a part of life. It's an opportunity for growth, not a verdict on your worth. Rejection is not personal. It's not a judgment of your character or your abilities. It's just life's way of telling you this is not your path, not your opportunity, not the person you're meant to be with. The sooner you embrace that fact, the sooner you realize rejection is just redirection. It's not something to be feared. It's something to be seen as a sign that you're moving forward, not backward. The fear of rejection traps a man in a cycle of inaction. But once he begins to see rejection for what it truly is, feedback, a lesson, an opportunity to learn, he frees himself from its grip. Instead of retreating, he presses on. He gets better, stronger, more resilient. He learns that rejection doesn't mean he's broken or less valuable. It means he's daring to step outside his comfort zone, to try, to push his limits. When you stop letting rejection define you, you stop seeking validation from others. Instead, you find your validation within yourself. You stop making decisions based on fear of what others might think or say. You become empowered by the idea that rejection is not about you. It's about circumstances, timing, or the other person's preferences, none of which have anything to do with your intrinsic worth. Every time you face rejection, you grow stronger. You learn to brush it off, keep moving, and keep striving. You develop resilience, confidence, and the courage to take bigger risks, knowing that rejection is just another step on the journey toward success. And that's how powerful men are made. Not by avoiding rejection, but by learning to move past it, stronger every time. A weak man feels the need to seek validation from others, especially women, in order to feel worthy. He believes that his value is determined by what others think of him. But the strongest relationships are those built on mutual respect, shared growth, and equal partnership, not dependence. When a man focuses on creating value within himself, whether in his career, his passions, or his contributions to the world, he shifts his focus away from the need for approval. Instead, he becomes someone who attracts others not for what they can do for him, but because of the value he brings to the table. Creating value doesn't just mean professional success. It's about developing as a person, growing mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. It's about mastering new skills, expanding your knowledge, and becoming the best version of yourself. The more you focus on creating value, the less you feel the need to seek out external validation. Your sense of worth comes from within. You begin to see the world not as a place where you must prove yourself to others, but as a place where you are meant to make a meaningful impact. When you focus on your own growth and contribution, the right people will naturally be drawn to you. Relationships founded on mutual respect and growth are fulfilling and lasting. When you stop seeking validation from others, you start to attract relationships that are authentic, grounded in shared values and respect. This is the power of focusing on creating value within yourself. It leads to more meaningful, balanced, and enriching connections. It shifts your energy from neediness to abundance, from lack to fulfillment. No more waiting for the right time, no more excuses. The time to transform is now. Many men spend years waiting for the perfect moment, for everything to fall into place, for the stars to align before they take action. They tell themselves that they'll make a change when things settle down, or when they have more resources, or when they feel more confident. But here's the reality. Waiting for the perfect moment is a trap. Transformation doesn't happen when everything is perfect. It happens when you decide to act, even when things are messy, uncertain, or uncomfortable. True change begins when you make the commitment to yourself to start now, to move forward despite fear, despite doubts, despite the voices in your head telling you to wait. You must take ownership of your future and recognize that the only moment that matters is the present. Transformation is not something that happens overnight, but it is something that starts with a decision, with a choice. The most powerful men didn't wait for the stars to align. They created their own stars. They understood that the process of transformation involves risk, discomfort, and failure, but also growth, strength, and resilience. They didn't let fear or hesitation control their lives. They chose to start, and in doing so, they became the men they were meant to be. So what are you waiting for? The best time to start is now. The moment you take control of your decisions, your actions, and your mindset is the moment your transformation begins. Stop putting off what you know you need to do. You are the one who holds the keys to your future. Make the decision today to take that first step, to stop waiting and to start building the life you've always dreamed of. In conclusion, the path to becoming a powerful, fulfilled man lies within you. It's not in the validation you seek from others, nor in the need for external approval to define your worth. Real strength comes from focusing on yourself, on your growth, your values, and your purpose. The more you redirect your energy inward, the more you will realize that you are already enough, just as you are. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop fearing rejection and stop seeking validation outside of yourself. The power to transform your life is in your hands, and it begins the moment you decide to take action, to step up, and to become the best version of yourself. When you shift your focus to your own growth, to creating value, and to developing an unshakable self-worth, you attract the right people, the right opportunities, and the right circumstances. Transformation is not something that happens by chance. It's a choice you make every single day. So make the choice now. Take that first step. Stop letting fear, rejection, or self-doubt hold you back. You have everything you need inside of you to create the life you deserve. The time to become the man you are meant to be is now. Don't wait any longer. Your future is in your hands, and the moment you claim that power is the moment everything begins to change.